it's wrong. If anyone hands you a red Cosmo, just hand it right back and say, I'll take the espresso martini. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of On Display. Happy Thursday morning. I have so much scoop for you guys today. I just feel like there's so much to talk about. We were away in the Bahamas this weekend, which I know you guys all know. And yes, I am going to touch on the hug that you guys all saw on Instagram that Joe posted between himself and Joe Giudice. I know you guys are all so curious. So I am definitely going to get into that with you guys. I just want to say before we even get really into the nitty gritty of it, that it really was a positive moment. And I'm going to give you the details because I feel like you guys need to know, right? Because you've watched so much of our lives in and out, especially with the two families and Joe, especially just the arguments they've been in, the Instagram wars, the clickbait things. I'm not naive to the fact that there has been so much back and forth between these two guys. And so I get that you guys are super curious and you're like, how did this happen? How the hell do two Joes walk into a bar? Literally. So let me tell you guys, because I feel like you are owed an explanation because we did, put it on a public platform. So therefore you get the details. Okay. We truly wanted to shed light on a positive moment. And that's why Joe decided to post this video. I mean, as everyone knows, this show runs on negative most of the time, and it's negative this, negative that. It's right now the feud that's going on, which it's very hard to deny between the families is extremely sad, right? And it's just like a Debbie Downer 24 hours a day. So I think Joe was happy to post this video and show a little bit of positivity and just show like a bygones be bygones type moment. With that said, let me just give you the details of how it went down. No, it 100% was not planned. We had no idea that we were going to run into Joe Giudice. Okay. We were in the Bahamas. We stayed at our hotel every single day and night. We had dinner at our hotel for 3 nights. We did not leave our hotel to go look or find anyone ever. There was the night before it happened, there were some fans and people coming up to us saying, as Joe and I were it was the very end of the night. It was probably midnight. Joe and I were walking back to our hotel room after dinner and after we were gambling in the casino. We were walking back to our hotel room and a couple fans were like, oh my God, we saw Joe Giudice. We saw Joe Giudice over there. And we were like, oh, wow, really? And we were like, and I looked at Joe, I'm like, oh my God, like I forgot. Like this is probably like, he lives here. Like this is probably where he comes to hang out on the weekends. And to be honest, it kind of slipped my mind that he's really even like, obviously I know Joe's there, but sometimes he's in Italy. Sometimes he's there. It really wasn't like something we thought about to bump into Joe Giudice, but they said that to us and we were like, oh, wow, crazy. Okay. Well, we went to bed that night. Didn't see him. Heard he was at the bar with, probably his little lady friend or something. He had a girlfriend. So, which was fine. We went to bed. We didn't even think about it again. We thought nothing of it. The next night we, had our day. We went out to dinner and every night after dinner, we gamble. So we were with a crew of people. I know you guys all saw all the pictures and stuff on Instagram. We had about at least 20 people with us. So we gambled every night. Well, we were just gambling, doing our thing. It was late. I'm talking late. It was probably late for me. It was like midnight. And we were like, all right, let's go have a glass of wine. We were like done gambling because we were losing. And we went to go walk over to like this casino bar that was literally right next to where we were gambling. Well, listen to this. This bar has 2 entrances that you can kind of come from one side of the casino or the other side. I kid you not. We were with probably like 15 to 20 people walking into the one side of this bar, and Joe Giudice was with one other guy and he was walking in the other side at the exact same time, to the point where like we all just stood there and we were almost like staring at each other. I did feel a little awkward. I'm not going to lie. I kind of put my head down. I was like, oh God, like, how is this going to go? Joe was behind me. So I knew that Joe was going to see him after. I just kind of put my head down. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen right now. I got a little nervous, but didn't act on it. Joe was like a couple people behind me. Well, Joe Gorga walked right up to him as soon as he saw him without a hesitation. And I'm like seeing all these things on social media asking like, who's holding the camera? Was this staged? Like, first of all, no, it was not me videoing. Secondly, when Joe and Joe run into each other, guys, after all these years, you can bet your ass the cameras are going to go up. It's like hell froze over for a minute, honestly. And the truth is they saw each other. They went over to the bar. I went over to Joe. I gave Joe a hug. Hello. It kind of like, I think Joe might have felt a little awkward, Joe Giudice, for a minute because we were with so many people. So and I also think, we were totally like, we had no idea we were going to run into Joe Giudice. Like, it wasn't even on our mind. I think Joe Giudice, because he was at the hotel we were staying at, might have had a feeling that he was maybe going to bump into us. So maybe it was a little more awkward for him because he thought to himself like, oh, I might bump into them. He might have had a little anxiety about it. And so that's why I think his face looked a little different than Joe Gorga's face, because Joe was genuinely like caught off guard, like completely caught off guard. Guys, from my standpoint, just watching these two, for my Joe, for Joe Gorga, he doesn't really have a lot of family. Basically, he has none at this point. And, I feel like Joe always gets to see me, right? In my family, with my people, with people who know me as a child, that we have all these memories and we are always talking about our memories as a child. And, I do feel bad sometimes that I never get to hear his stories. Like, he never gets to run into anyone from his childhood that he grew up with. And believe it or not, that's Joe Giudice for him. He did grow up with Joe Giudice. Their parents were good friends. So I was kind of happy for him in that moment because I could see him grab onto him. It was like Joe was seeing his long lost cousin, or, in this case, his long lost brother-in-law, that like he knew that he saw family. Trust me. And I think when Joe Gorga saw Joe Giudice's face, all of the drama that you guys have always seen happen on camera literally was set to the side. And it really brought them both back to a time when they were truly good friends and family. And they say time heals all wounds, right? And I think that this moment was huge proof of that. Whether it's like 7 years from now, 10 years from now, or like 50 years from now, the fact that this happened gives me hope that this family might actually be good one day in the long run. I am really tired of people playing the doubt game in this reality TV world. It's like, we show you something good and then they spill out a huge amount of doubt. Well, they really didn't mean it like that. And they only did it because of this. Oh, that wasn't genuine. That's a lie. Don't believe that they're that good. Don't believe that they want to be nice. It's constantly placing doubt in the viewer's vision. And it's very sad. And it's something that I hope the strong people out there see what's going on. They see what they're doing. And I'm honestly done playing that game. I'm done playing the doubt game. Don't be in doubt when you see us do something right. And I have to address this thing where you guys saw me make the comment, but it was really Joe supposed to make the comment. I know it seems shady, so I'm going to lay it all out for you and explain to you exactly what happened word for word. Again, you guys are probably going to place some doubt on it, but I'm telling you now, this is what happened. After Joe posted the video, he was literally making popcorn by the microwave. I saw Gia make the comment. I call him over. I'm like, I read him the comment that Joe makes. He picks up my phone. He's looking at the comment and then he starts scrolling on my phone, probably reading through the comments that people are making. He then starts to type his reply back to Gia and press send. And I literally look at him and I said, you're on my phone. I grab the phone from him. I delete the comment. He picks his phone up and he writes the exact same comment on his phone. I know people are going to twist this. I know you're going to say, no, Melissa was totally writing that for him and she put it on the wrong thing. I know what you're thinking. I get it. I'm telling you the truth here. That is what happened. He wrote it on my phone when I was showing it to him. I deleted it, as quickly as possible because I was like, shit, Joe, that's my phone. And he wrote it on his phone. Of course, that had to happen in that moment, right, guys? Like, that's our luck. Then you doubt even more, but it's a real moment. It did happen. That's the truth of it. Do what you want with it, but that's the truth. At the end of the day, this was like an unexpected opportunity for both of these guys to heal after so many years of drama and conflict. And by posting it, we simply wanted to shed light on a positive moment between the families that was not produced and was off camera. Well, now, after talking about Housewives a little bit, I need to bring on someone who knows all about this crazy world we live in on and off camera. He's the co-host of the hilarious podcast, Keep It, with his friend Louis Vertel. He's written for all sorts of hit shows on television, and he is quite possibly one of the biggest Bravo experts out there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me Ira Madison the third. What's up?
Hi, Melissa. So nice to meet you.
It is so nice to meet you too. I know that you're in New York City, or are you in LA?
I'm in New York.
So this is a new, fresh move, right?
Yes, I used to live here a few years, like 12 years ago, and I just moved back like a couple weeks ago.
You know, it's funny. I feel like everyone leaves New York and moves to LA. You don't really hear many people leaving LA to come back to New York, right?
I know, right?
What happened? Why the move?
I think, I just sort of got like tired during like the pandemic, like it felt like a lot of the same old thing. And then when I would come back to New York, it felt like alive again. And I never really wanted to leave. I went to NYU for screenwriting, and then I moved to LA to just sort of like get a career.
Got it. Listen, I always say there's no feeling like New York City. Like, I know all the big celebs, when they make it, they go straight to LA. It's like Hollywood, it's California, it's Calabasas. Like, but I'm like, I don't think I would have like the biggest penthouse I could on the top of New York City overlooking Central Park. Like, to me, there's no city, there's no vibe in the world like you get like from New York City, right?
You walk outside and you just like feel it. And
you feel the people.
Yeah. I'm living in the West Village now. So I'm like,
my favorite.
It's great. Yeah.
Do you ever pass Andy Cohen on the streets?
I've seen him. I know Andy. So like I've seen him before. I'm very good friends with his best friend's nephew, Lucas. So so
see him like walking with all his little babies now. He used to be a player, now he's like a daddy, for a real daddy. He used to just be the Housewives big daddy, now he's a real big daddy, right?
I know, and I've done Watch What Happens Live before too, but only in the only when we were like streaming from home, like the Zoom one. So
you were on through the Zoom. I love it. Yeah. Oh God, what were you commenting on? Which show?
Okay, that was when like Beverly Hills was airing.
Okay, recently?
No, that was like the pandemic era one. So when like New York had its pandemic season. So that was the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages.
Yes, no more masks. The girls can be out. You can go on international trips again.
Okay, I like it. Listen, I know you're a huge Bravo expert. You watch all the shows. Obviously, Jersey is just starting season 13. Don't feel like you need to say anything that, I'm not pushing you in any direction. That's not how we roll. We're very unfiltered and very raw and real when we're discussing On Display. But tell me, like, what do you hope to see? Tell me what you hope to see this season on The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Okay, so I've always been a big Jersey fan. I feel like Jersey is just sort of like, there's something about it where it's just sort of like, maybe it's the family element too, but it just feels like, it feels real, especially in a way that like some of the Housewives now, you get to a point where it's like, these feel like coworkers, It's like, you guys are in each other's lives. You see each other, the beats feel real, etc. What I want to see is, first of all, I think that we've all like gotten tired of the Melissa Teresa feud. Like, what's going on?
Okay, it's so funny because that's a question
What's
later.
Biden doing about this? Okay.
Okay, let's talk about it. It's getting old, right?
Yeah,
is that fair to say?
It is.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. And I also feel like we've seen it. And I think people are starting to believe us when we say, like, for now, it's not going to change, right?
Hmm.
You don't feel the growth anymore, where I think the fans used to root for us a little bit
Hmm.
more, because I feel everybody at the end of the day wants the family together, right? Like
Yeah.
they do. Like that's what they would love to see happen. But I think everyone's got to a point where they realize it just might not happen. I mean, you tell me. You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like what's interesting is because for a while, like I feel like the glue that was holding it together was, Teresa and Joe, like really like I fight with my sister all the time too, and
Right.
we're not like super close. We live in like separate cities, but like, family will be there for one another. And I felt like we
Right.
sort of had that. And it almost sort of feels, like now that she's married into a new family, that sort of replaced that, it's like
Right.
a replacement family.
That, I mean, that's sad in itself. Just right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bummerish to think that like once new comes, the old out with the old, in with the new. But it's kind of
Hmm.
the case for right now. And I think a lot of what you're gonna see this season. All right. So aside for Teresa and I,
Hmm.
what are you feeling about the new girls? Did you watch the episode?
I'm liking Danielle a lot.
Are you okay? Good. She's
Yeah,
very
I think she's
Jersey.
fun. I think, she's like she was very interesting and like fun in that first episode, like at the roller skate party. Like I'm enjoying her. And I know that, like sometimes it's hard to get a new person into Jersey. I feel like they're always rotating someone in new to like see if they'll stick, but
Yes.
she's fun.
She is. I think she's a lot of fun. You'll definitely see her and I have a lot of moments throughout the
Hmm.
season. The other girl, Rachel, because
Hmm.
you've only seen the first episode,
Yeah.
her more of her family and home scenes come in the next episodes. So
Okay.
that's when you watch those, you'll be able to get her personality a little more and see her family, which she has a super cute family also. It
Hmm.
does remind me of like when I first came on with a little baby on the floor and like all the little
Yeah.
kids and like, which I have to applaud. I'm loving the new girls. Like I love new people coming in. I am sick of like the same old, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. Like I personally have been begging Bravo to bring new girls, young new girls, because
Hmm.
I vibe with them. I want new story. I want new things to talk about.
Hmm.
We need to switch it up. So I'm so happy Bravo is like listening,
Well,
to what
that's
the
so
people want.
interesting because like I feel like that was one of the push and pulls with, with New York, right?
Right.
And now they're doing an entire new season with like all new girls, but there was that push and pull of like when they added Leah in, like she was so much younger than the older women who were already, sort of like older women when they started Roni and then got much older and it's sort of if you're trying to bring in a new audience to Bravo, you can't just have the people who've been on it for 15 years. Do you feel like there's sort of this thing
Disconnect.
that you think that when you interact with fans, like even online or in person, like so many of them are stuck on things that you'd like to move past?
Yes. For sure. For sure. And honestly, I'm not saying my whole cast is grateful for the new people. Melissa Gorga is great. I love it. I'm not intimidated. Bring it on. I want to talk about new and fresh and lively. So like
Hmm.
I'm one who welcomes it. I do know that there are, I get that some of the OGs or other people who've been around for a long time are like, what the hell is this? She's going to come in and replace me, or she's going to
Hmm.
bump me out, or now they're going to want to watch the young girls instead of
Yeah.
the girls, which I think some people get like that, but I'm always like team show, right? Like
Yeah. You want the
team.
young girls to make the OGs work, you
Right.
know?
Like team cast, baby. Like there's like, let's put it together. Let's keep it elevated. Let's keep it fresh. Let's keep it new. Like I am not about talking about the same conversation over and over. Like this season for
Hmm.
me, you're going to definitely see something very different. Like I know a lot of people are expecting it to be exactly the same.
Hmm.
It's really not from my camp. It's really
Hmm.
not. So I think that part will be fresh.
Hmm.
Whether they like it or not, I don't know, but it's definitely going to be some fresh content coming from me for sure. And it's
Yeah.
very raw and it's very real and it's very like true, right? So it's
Hmm.
like when something's true, it's just easy to own it and it's easy to fight off anybody who's mad at it because you're like, no, but I really feel this way, you know?
Hmm.
So, all right, listen, let's be real. These relationships on TV, obviously they get very sticky and
Yes.
you have such a great personality. So like if you were a cast member on the show, how would you navigate these Jersey personalities that, they're strong. These are strong
Yeah.
personalities.
I think, like, first of all, like, I would have fun with so many of the ladies on the show, and I feel like you've got to really like, I really like the Housewives ones where, like, you can have an argument, you could fight, maybe you're fighting for a few episodes, like, somebody has really pissed you the fuck off, but then, you can sort of move on from it because it's not like, I mean, it's real, but it's not like it's taking over your everyday life, you're fighting in the context of, these cameras are on you. It's while you're filming this, but it's like when it's done, like you don't need to carry this anger and something past that because, like RuPaul said, like if the camera's not rolling, it doesn't matter. So
Right.
why would you still be angry with someone about something when the cameras aren't even there? They're not even catching your argument. It's not even for the entertainment. You're really just sort of angering yourself.
You're just mad. You're just
Mm-hmm.
angry. You're just mad. And, I say the best housewives, honestly, are the ones who leave it at the door and they
Mm-hmm.
don't carry it on through the 6 months that we're not filming. They're not
Mm-hmm.
rallying on Instagram and rallying on Twitter and
Mm-hmm.
using any press aspect or anything they can to talk bad. Like that's where I'm like, it is eating you alive. We do
Mm-hmm.
not get paid for any of the extra. You're silly. That's first of all. You don't be silly, And it's like the best housewives truly leave it at the door and they bring it right back where it came from when it's time to start up again. You don't do it like for nonsense reasons to prove your point, to prove your point, to prove your point. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
cares most of the
Yeah.
time. You'll get your Instagram ralliers and your Twitter. You'll get those like whatever
Mm-hmm.
100 people that are just they'll rally with you all day long. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, And
Mm-hmm.
so I always appreciate a housewife, whether I like her or not,
Mm-hmm.
that came in. We had the conversations. We did what we did. But when she went home, she went home. Do you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I will
Yeah.
always appreciate that girl. Always.
So
Because
speaking of the beef that is actually stressing me out the most this season
tell me.
is I love Jennifer and I love Dolores. And this is upsetting me.
Okay.
Because I don't want them fighting with each other. It stresses me out. I'm like, I want them to be loving each other. So like, what's going on there?
I mean, I don't think they're in love with each other. That I'm going to bust your
Yeah.
bubble on right there.
Uh,
That's not going to happen. I think that you'll have to keep watching, but I think
mm-hmm.
they tolerate. A lot of it is tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think those two really have like personalities to be besties. I think
Mm-hmm.
Dolores is a lot more chill. I
Yeah.
think she doesn't get her panties in a knot and like carry it on and get offended, where you probably love Jennifer as a housewife for those
Mm-hmm.
reasons, because she
Yeah.
doesn't let go. She talks about the same thing. Like she's sarcastic in certain ways. So it's like the reason you love her as a housewife is maybe why we don't. Do you know what I
Like
mean?
vibe
So
with her as a person,
yes, as a person, she's, and this is
Mm-hmm.
my personal opinion and you're allowed to have yours.
Of
Doesn't
course.
work for me. Like I see
Mm-hmm.
someone who turns it on when the cameras are there and
Mm-hmm.
turns it off. And I don't go for, I like, no, 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 no. When you meet me, I'm this here, there, everywhere. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
the theatrics for me is what takes me to the next level with her, where
Mm-hmm.
for me personally, obviously, that her and I don't have
Yeah.
the best relationship. But this season, you're going to maybe enjoy a little because you're going to see that like her and I actually have a pretty good season together. We have a lot of
Okay.
fun times. So just keep watching. You're going to see
Yeah.
some fun between Jennifer and I, actually, which I think is a little shocking for a lot of people. Guys, let me tell you about this amazing company, Care of. Care of is a subscription service that ships high quality personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders conveniently to your door every single month. Care of wants you to show yourself some love this month by allowing yourself to feel more balanced, confident, and energetic by letting them do the heavy lifting on your vitamin routine. You take a short, in-depth quiz about your lifestyle and health goals for a personalized, doctor-backed recommendation, taking the guesswork out of what supplements are going to be best suited for you. So Care of has a free app that allows you to track your progress and how you feel so you can earn awards like discounts and merch when you're consistent with taking your vitamins daily. I mean, let's think about how cool that is. It's like you're earning points to take your vitamins. Care of's daily vitamin packs are great for on the go and are made of plant-based film, so you can stress less about your impact on the environment. Each shipment comes with a customized pamphlet showing you exactly what is in your individual daily packs and why it's recommended specifically for you and your health goals. I just love these vitamins. I love that they come pre-packed. Care of knows exactly what I need and they tell me exactly when to take them throughout the day. Guys, I really love that the pack is just ready to go. I pop it in my purse and I just take them all day long. For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code display50. That's right. For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter the code display50. On Display with Melissa Gorga is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Let's face it, sometimes multitasking can be like overwhelming to say the least. Like when your favorite podcast is playing and the person next to you is talking and your car fan is blasting, all while you're just trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that works for you, even if it's not with them. So if you give their really cool comparison tool a try, you might just find getting the right rate and coverage you deserve is so easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. You'll see Progressive's direct rate and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare. So it's so simple to choose the rate and coverage that you like. Press play on comparing auto rates. Quote at progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Do you think, because I was really interested in, I had been, long a back and forth on like a Teresa Melissa fan, and what really like actually made me love you a lot was Ultimate Girls Trip. Like I thought it was so much fun.
It was.
And I feel like, do you think Jennifer is someone who would benefit from something like that? Because I do enjoy her a lot, but it does actually kind of feel like she's isolated from the other women because she's so close to Teresa and is Teresa's ally for a lot of the series.
Right. Yes. If I'm going to be honest with you, yes.
Mhm.
I think when she's around Teresa, she has zero identity. She just does. It's just such a follow the leader type thing. And it's almost like the word that I want to use is like pleaser. She's very wants to please her and you can read it all over her face. And there's sometimes that I feel like it's okay. You're allowed to feel what you feel. And I wish, and I've tried with her for years to make her speak up on that a little more because I feel like she could be in her own right fun and whatever she wants to bring to the table, but she gets so caught up under that wing of Teresa that she kind of, in my personal opinion, screwed herself because let us meet you, right? We don't want to meet the minion. So that's where I think she screwed herself. I really do. Between me and you. I mean, not between me and you, but that's how I feel about it. The Housewives, the girls trip was so fun, so different. So like our real personalities where you can like let your guard down and just be fun because the girls trip, that for me is just, that's me.
Teresa
that's
was at her most likable, to be honest.
She was
on girls trip. Yeah. I loved her interaction with the other women. She felt very like, not guarded in a way that she's been, had to be for almost a decade, on this show.
Yeah, she let her guard down a lot there. I think we were with a really good crew too. The first crew of Girls Trip, we were like, we're a core of like deep, good women and fun at the same time between me and Kyle and Luann. Like we're the party girls, and we were like rallying the fun. And then everyone else, like Cynthia's very deep and Ramona's brings the crazy, whatever we need her to bring. It worked. That first
Hmm.
girls trip really worked. Do you watch the other girls trips too?
I'm waiting for three to come out.
Okay.
But season two was fun, but it was a tonal shift. It was a lot darker, It was a lot
Different.
more about fighting
Right.
than it was about everyone bonding where season one felt. And
What do you prefer out of the two for a girls trip?
I think I like a mix of both, I think if Peacock is going to keep making them, it's good to have a light one and then one that's maybe a bit more dramatic and intense. Because in a season of a whole Housewives, you'll get both of that, right?
Right. Right. That's true. And I think this is just like a shorter version. So you
Hmm.
do want to see a little bit of both. I heard,
Hmm.
I think the second one had a lot of fighting. Like
It had a
it
lot of
definitely
fighting.
outweighed the good for that
Yeah.
one. And then all
Uh,
this stuff. Are you listening to everything you're
yeah.
hearing about Brandy and Caroline?
Brandy and Caroline, like that. And I don't even know what's happening yet.
Nobody
So,
really does. Nobody
yeah.
does. There's a lot of different sides to the story, and I guess eventually we'll have to wait like forever to see that. It feels
Hmm.
like, right?
Yeah. And how
Oh,
that brings up too, like Caroline Manson was just, such an important part of early Jersey. And then, Teresa recently was like having lunch or something with Jacqueline. Like, do
yes.
you feel like the storylines or the specter of, I guess, like of former Jersey housewives sort of like hangs over the show a lot in the way fans interact with you or the way just sort of like people are constantly wishing that they'd come back. And are there some people that you like do from like your first season from when you joined, like season four? Yes.
Season three.
Season
Yeah.
three, right? Of like people that you're like, they were kind of fun. I would love to have them back, or people you're sort of like, actually, like, I need the show to really should go in a different direction.
Listen, I've always said that Caroline doesn't just come with Caroline, right? Caroline
Hmm.
has Albie and Chris who are super funny
Hmm.
and Lauren. And like, I appreciate a family dynamic on our show. They
Yeah.
come like a crew. So I've
Yeah.
always said Caroline, not only because she does feel like matriarch, right? She feels that way too. And she gave
Hmm.
calm advice a lot of the times. But I love her kids because she's a little older, right? But she's got the kids who bring a little younger and it's like a mix of them together. I said, I always thought that could work if she came
Hmm.
back because of the family though. It's not
Yeah.
just Caroline. It's like the whole thing together works. Anyone else? We've had a couple fails, definitely, like
Hmm.
trying new people. The only people to ever bring back to Jersey. I mean, Dina, we've already tried that, right? We've brought her
Hmm.
back once. It's just not for her anymore. She's totally outgrown all of this and her new life.
Yeah. Danielle came
Jacqueline,
back.
yeah, Jacqueline's not here for a reason. I think it was a
Yeah.
lot for her too.
Hmm.
It's a lot. I think that, it's kind of weird how I guess I'm going to have to say Teresa because the only other one would be me,
Hmm.
kind of plays in the sand with them a little bit or like
Hmm.
randomly finds them again or like will say something about Kim D. Remember the
Hmm.
Kims? Yeah. Like I'm big on, and this is just how I take life too. Like I like to move forward. I
Hmm.
like fresh. I like new. I'm a level upper. That's what I believe in life. I want to level up. Like I want to keep moving
Hmm.
forward. I want new. So I don't know. I think the fans would love to see old Jersey, but I don't know if once they got it, they'd be like, all right, been there, done that. We know what you girls are going to say. You know,
Hmm.
what would you want to see the old girls come back? What do you think about that?
I actually am sort of like back and forth on whether I want older people to come back, because I feel like if someone comes back and it's really like a spectacular moment, that can be fun, but like
Right.
I'm not even one of the people who's like wanting like Lisa Vanderpump to come back to Beverly Hills or something. I feel like that was a 9 season arc that ended, you know?
Right.
Like it's
Right.
time to move on.
I
I don't,
agree.
I don't mind if someone reappear. I like actually when older housewives like when they reappear sometimes, like at a party or like maybe they'll mix it up and like that happens on Beverly Hills a lot. Like Camille has popped up or something and she'll get in an argument with someone, but it's one episode and then she'll move on.
One and
You
done.
know? Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you on that. What were your thoughts on Teresa and Jacqueline having lunch and drinks? What went to your
My
head
most
instantly?
shocking thing was, and I feel like So when you wade into Jersey, it's always one like there are two sides. It's like people being like the Teresa fans, and then I feel like there's Melissa fans. And I feel like people were like excited about this link up with Jacqueline, but I was just sort of like, I didn't know where all these Jacqueline fans had come from because I had not seen people like standing Jacqueline until all of a sudden she linked back up with Teresa, you know?
Right,
Like no one's
right.
been like, let's get Jacqueline back on the show.
No, no. I think it was just spicy for Teresa fans. I think it
Yeah.
was spicy for Teresa fans, and it is what it is. Good for them. Like if they're genuinely, I mean, it might have, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that Jacqueline was just like trashing me a couple weeks ago, like on some random podcast. I'm sure it has nothing to do with that, but that's like neither. If I could get into the brains of like some of the thinking, I would
Hmm.
love to know. But okay. Well, speaking of standing, okay, like 6 weeks ago on your Instagram, you
Hmm.
posted Ira's ins for 2023
I
list.
did.
Okay, we got to break down some of these because I actually love this.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Okay, house parties and dinner parties, let's bring them back.
Yes. Yes.
I
I
love a house party and a
Isn't
dinner
it
party.
great?
I think we all go to dinner too much again. I mean, we
Hmm.
did have it with COVID, right? I feel like we
Yeah.
were bringing them back a little bit there.
But that was like small group. That was like,
Right.
really, and you're seeing the same damn people all over again, you know? And I love that, yes, we got out and we're going to dinners and things, but my friends lately, and especially my friends here, like, I love nothing more than like a Friday text from a friend that's like, my place at 9 p.m. And then, friends go and you can invite other friends that you know. And it's like we're all just there and you're hanging out. And I think that is so much more fun.
Agreed. 100%. Some of the best nights are usually just, and the latest nights we have are when we're
Yes.
at
The
someone's
latest nights are at
house.
home, you know?
Always, always. We don't even know what time it is. I'm like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like I have to go home. We're at dinner. We're all home by 10:30, 11 o'clock. We're back in bed
Right.
already. So
Or like you go out, and I think, me, like I'm 35, I'm 36 now, and like going out like it's just one, you're paying so much for drinks, or like you're there and you're like, is the vibe great? Some friends are like, do we want to leave and go to this bar? Do we want to go to this other place? And then also,
right.
like I've started rewatching Sex and the City, and I'm like finally like now that I'm the age connecting with them when they're like, oh, the bar's being run by everybody in their 20s now, and I'm like, I don't need to be around 20-year-olds, So I'd rather be at a house party
With people our age, with
with people
people
our
that
age,
yes.
drinking what you want to drink,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the girls walking around in what I call tampon dresses, because if they bend over, you're going to see the tampon string. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's how I
Exactly.
look at that. Okay. Solo movie nights. I love
Yes.
this. I've never done it, but I feel like it's so
Really?
freeing to
Yeah.
probably do this.
So I love a Sunday night to like kick off my week and just sort of like a wind down, like going to like, because I got AMC. I have the AMC A list. I'm a Stubbs member. So I'll just
Wow.
go and see like a movie at like 6 p.m. on a Sunday and then go home after it. And that's like a perfect way to end my weekend.
I love it.
And it's usually, and in New York, like it's usually like it'll usually be empty, like, or there are like four or five other people or something in the theater. So
That's it. And it's
yeah.
like you just like being there alone. You don't wish there was someone sitting next to you. It's like you don't
No,
talk
it's
to
just,
anybody anyway, right?
yeah, yeah. It's because it's like, I don't know how movies even became a big thing for like dates or something in the first place, right? Like you go with your friends or you're on a date, you're not talking during the whole movie. You're sort of just sitting there.
Right.
It's very weird, even the idea of like movies for like a first date or something for people because you're not talking to them at all.
Wait a second. That's so true. That was always a thing. Like, didn't take me to the movies for what? So
Yeah.
we cannot look at each other or speak to one another.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's actually the dumbest first date idea ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It's the new year, which means new goals, guys. And one of them just might be working out consistently. I know mine is. So let Peloton help you get into a rhythm. Peloton is more than just a bike. They also have treadmills. They have tons of other classes like yoga, strength training, HIIT, and even boxing. I do the strength training classes all the time. I literally am obsessed with them. Their instructors are so great. Their energy is like beyond. And whether it's a 10-minute power walk or a 30-minute endurance run, their trainers have a variety of different backgrounds and cater to your style of motivation. Whether you're like an entry level or a super athlete, Peloton offers thousands of on-demand classes that are 24/7 around the clock. Okay, another thing is that they have the absolute best playlist for your workout. I know you guys are going to laugh at me, but mine is still Eye of the Tiger for like the last 20 years. I can't let it go. So try Peloton free with a 30-day home trial, new members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Dubrow, and do I have some exciting news for you? We are launching a variety of new episodes that are going to have amazing special guests, some of my close friends, and so much more. It's going to be really fun, and we're going to get to hear from fans, new friends, and get an inside look of my world. We're really excited for you to listen and join in for Heather Dubrow's World on Podcast One. Episodes drop on Thursdays and Fridays. Tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. So speaking of movies, you said standing Tom Cruise.
I love Tom Cruise.
Do you? I die.
do.
Wait, talk to me about this.
I just think, there's something so like compelling about him. I mean, I love the Mission Impossible movies. I can't wait for like the next two. It's going to be 2 parts. And I just feel like Top Gun, like saved the box office. He's just like, you watch him and like you forget about the Scientology. You forget about everything else. He's just like, he's so charismatic and he still feels like a movie star,
You know what? You're right about that. There's very few like movie stars left. He's definitely a movie star, right?
And it's
like,
not
I think
like
Angelina
online.
Jolie too.
Angelina's my girl.
She's a movie star.
Is it. Yeah, she's it.
Give me one more movie star. Who else do we want to say is like a movie star?
Movie star. Like Julia Roberts.
Oh, for sure. She's the queen of all queens. To me, that's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
She's the best of the best. Meryl Streep.
Yes. Like those are still people who are like, they feel larger than life.
Yes. The first season I was on the Housewives. Okay. I'm 31 years old. I go to a Christopher Reeve Foundation, at Cipriani, and she's there. And my publicist is like, Meryl Streep's here. We're going to get the pic. And I'm like, okay, wait. She pulls me a Joe. I still have this picture to this day up to Meryl Streep. I swear Meryl Streep, she had no idea who I was. She's like, huh? She was like, hello, hi. I'm like, hi, big fan. She's like, we get the picture. She stood there like this. And I had a picture of her cheesing. I'm cheesing. I'm like, I don't care. I got the Meryl Streep picture. It was like such a great moment.
Every time since I've come back to New York, there are so many. I feel like Cipriani is where like every fundraiser is.
It's so true. Everybody just ends up there, right?
Yeah.
Microdosing. Does this mean that we're gonna like overdose less? What does this mean?
No, microdosing. Like, okay, so like I like a mushroom moment. Like a thing like that. I feel like, or like if you like edibles or things like that, like I love microdosing. You just take a little bit,
just a little edge off thing,
a little bit like every few hours or something, or throughout a day. So it's not like you're getting super high like right away, but it's just like you're sort of like going through your day very chill.
Pretty chill.
Yeah.
Can we be successful going through our day and productive, very chill like this? Because this.
Well, I'm a writer, so I just hang out most of the time.
He's like, yeah, for me it's great because I'm going to just talk all day and it works. But like maybe somebody in construction, they're not going to microdose.
Yeah. Give it to some of your castmates.
Oh my God, I would love to. I mean, I don't think you and I though are going to agree on who I have to give it to. That's the problem. That's the freaking problem. I would ask you which one you want me to like pop it down, but what's your answer going to be?
I mean, listen, would you say Jennifer?
I mean, is it called
See,
a chill pill? Yes.
the thing though is like when I love a housewife, like it's not just because like I am never like a person who's like, oh, my favorite housewife is also a person who I think like one I'd have like a perfect dinner with or like could even be friends with. You know, it's
Right.
always in the context of this is for the show, this is fun, I'm having a good time. You know,
I
like
like that. And
yeah,
that's what
Kenya
a lot
Moore's
of
my
people.
favorite housewife ever. You
Who
know,
is?
Kenya Moore. You know,
Kenya. I love her.
my
Love her.
favorite. You know,
Yes. 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 So I always say that there's two things. There's like, you can have your favorite housewife on Bravo, which is
Mhm.
the person that you want to watch go crazy, or you want to be the typical, like, whatever it is you're looking for when you watch Housewives,
Mhm.
right? And then there can be another one that would be like the girl that you would go to dinner with and hang
Of
out with and
course.
invite over to your house for the day, right?
Yeah.
So there's always two. I get that. I totally get
Mhm.
that. Wait, we need to also bring Manhattan's back to 2023.
I love a Manhattan. Okay, so I put this because I had on my out list when Cultured Magazine interviewed me, I said espresso martinis were out. And listen, I love an espresso martini. And it's been big since the 80s. And
Right.
sometimes it's like it's a good sort of like it's a good sort of like cocktail to have instead of a dessert, like if you're gonna go out after. But
Right.
I just think that like there's no
I love
consistent
espresso martinis.
yeah, there's no consistency bar to bar. You know? Like
Oh, right. You're going to get different espresso
and
martinis.
some of them are just like bad
Right.
or watery, you know?
Right.
Like if everybody knew how to make an espresso martini, sure. But how do you mess up a Manhattan?
That's true. I think, is it sweet vermouth or dry vermouth?
Yeah, it's
Something.
sweet and
I
then
used to be a bartender.
yeah.
You know, my drink of choice right now, though. So espresso martini for me is like the very end of the night, or it's the
Mhm.
very beginning of the night if I'm tired and I need
Yeah.
a little something. Um, I'm a Cosmo girl. I am such a 90s
Okay, Carrie Bradshaw.
Cosmo.
I
Like
see.
that. No, for real. Like that is like always my drink of choice for real. Like it's just,
I just
I
had a
can't.
really good Cosmo at this restaurant Casino just opened up in the Lower East Side, Dime Square.
What's it called?
Casino.
Okay.
And it's they have a Cosmo on the menu. It was great. I got it and I had like 3 of them. So
There's nothing better to me. It's like tart. I like sweet tarts. So
yeah.
a Cosmo, and I'm a vodka drinker. So it's like
Mhm.
anything vodka based is a little tart. But if they ever, this is a little trick to all my people out there listening.
Mhm.
They hand you a Cosmo and it's red. Just hand it right back. It's not right. They have done it wrong. It needs to be a cloudy pink, or else
Okay.
it's wrong. If anyone hands you a red Cosmo, just hand it right back and say, I'll take the espresso martini or the
Mhm.
Manhattan.
Okay. I
Okay.
love vodka too. I actually hate it when I feel like the gay drink of choice shifted to like tequila soda.
Yes.
I love a vodka soda.
Mm-hmm. Same. And everyone's like, tequila, tequila, tequila. And I'm
Yeah.
the only one, me and Joe. Vodka, vodka,
Yeah.
vodka. Like we can't switch. It doesn't do our stomachs
Tequila's
right.
good for shots, but not for I don't need to drink I don't need to constantly be doing tequila sodas.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, let me give you my 2023 thing before
Okay.
we move on to the next subject. Juicing. I am into
Mm.
juicing lately. I'm telling you, it's like if you do cucumber,
Mhm.
celery, and what's the other thing you have to put in it? Cucumber, celery, and carrots. Let me
Okay.
just tell you, it cleans your system. It's
Okay.
yes, it's everything. So
Do you
right
make them at
now
home?
I'm a major juicer. No, I've been, spending $10 every time I walk up to the damn thing but right now, look, I'm drinking one right now. Like I'm trying to do one juice a day, like a fresh
Mhm.
juice. That's my splurge, if I'm being honest, as
Yeah.
opposed to the Starbucks. I drink my coffee at home and then I like to juice, out
I
because I can't be bothered.
had a green smoothie from Joe and the Juice this morning. So I love it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, just run out the door, you grab it. It's good.
I'm telling you, the celery, anything with celery in it, with cucumber in it, it just clears you out. You're going to get addicted. So everyone needs to pick up on this juicing trend. It's not cheap. I'll tell you that. It's an expensive trend for
Yeah.
a detox.
Oh, I lived in LA. I know all about juicing. Okay.
Okay,
It's
exactly.
everywhere. Yeah.
This is a Jersey girl trying to bring it in, Okay, well, I'm loving this list of 2023. It's amazing. But before we wrap this up, okay,
Mhm.
In honor of your podcast, Keep It, I'm going to play a fun little game with you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to mention some current Bravo related happenings, and I want to know whether Ira Madison thinks we should keep it, which is like a topic worthy of discussion, or if we should sleep it and put it to bed.
Okay.
All right. Ready? Okay. Roni legacy rumors.
Sleep it.
Lisa Rinna walking away from the Housewives.
Keep it.
Okay. All the cheating husband rumors in Potomac. Do we want to keep
Sleep
these
it.
rumors?
I'm tired of that. I'm sure you're tired of it on your show too. Like, it's like enough. Like, give us real drama.
You know what? As an outsider watching these shows, you don't want to see you don't want to hear the cheating rumors, or you do?
No,
like, is it interesting?
it's. I feel like years ago when you would first hear like, oh, someone's cheating, like it felt like a scandal, and then there's certain times where like, someone's actually getting a divorce, so like some cheating has happened. But I just feel like now on too many Bravo shows, Jersey, Potomac, like Married to Medicine, like people throw out the idea that like someone is cheating, and it's sort of taken as truth, and it's just like, well, there's no proof to this. Like, it doesn't feel like a real storyline. You just have people arguing about something that the audience doesn't even really know anything about,
Agreed. And when there's no proof, it just makes it so like, what are we actually watching here? Like, what's happening? Yeah. Got it. Okay. Heather Gay's black eye.
Sleep it. I was so tired of hearing about that storyline. Like, tell us who did it.
I was like, I can't hear about this woman's black eye for one more minute. What is actually happening? All right. The Hilton sisters drama. Keep it or sleep it.
Wait, what's their new drama? Oh, wait, Kathy and Kyle. Okay.
Oof.
Wait, well, sorry. When you say Hilton sisters, I never think of Kyle.
Isn't that funny?
Hilton sister? Yeah.
No, you're right, because she's not a Hilton. Right.
Yeah.
So sorry, I said that wrong.
Sleep it. I want them to mend their fences.
Right? I do too. Yeah. I think they're so cute. I love them both. Have you watched Summer House?
Of course I have.
Okay, Summer House drama versus Lindsay and Carl. It's like they are X'd out. Nobody's really feeling them lately.
I want to know why everybody in that house is a hater. Because I'm Team Lindsay.
You are. Okay, I love Lindsay.
It. She's a Leo like me. I always got to support another Leo.
You know what? She can be probably intimidating to these girls. Yeah. And she is. I just had dinner with her on Saturday night. Friday night. I had so much fun.
Oh my God. Love with her and Carl, or just her?
Her and Carl and Joe. Yes.
Okay. Yes. What was that like?
It was great. We had a good time. I vibe with her. I like her a lot. I get her. She was telling me some of the drama, and how she's kind of like on the outside. And I was like, but why? Like, what did you do? Like, what? She's like, I don't know. Like, yeah. So yeah, but I had all right. So you want to sleep that because you like Lindsay.
Yeah. I would love for Lindsay to actually, like, if the new Roni's successful, with the new girls, like, make her a New York housewife.
I can 100% see that happening.
It's time for her to get out of the Hamptons, Cher. Okay.
It's done. She needs to get out of the Hamptons. That ship has sailed. How old is Lindsay? Do we know off the top of our head? Do you know how old Lindsay is?
No, I think she's like.
Let's Google it.
Yeah. I'm
not sure either. Like, is she older than the other girls?
She's 36.
36. She's ready 36. To get out of the Hamptons.
She's 36. She's a Leo. Her birthday is like, I'm like 2 weeks older than her. So like, I wouldn't be hanging out with the kids in the Hamptons.
In the hot tubs and all these things. Yeah. Right. All right. I think you might be right. Okay. Are we going to sleep it or keep it? Housewives drama happening more on social media than on the show.
Sleep it. You know what I loved? I love Miami so much. Because aside from like some of the Lenny Hochstein stuff, I didn't know what else was going on in the season, the drama between people. I hate this sort of thing now where like, every fight that people are going to have once a season starts. Like Beverly Hills was doing that a lot too. I want to be surprised.
Yes. Jersey's the worst. Let me just say that, because we have some fans that they are relentless and like, they're the worst. They tell you guys everything before it happens. I'm like, can we just watch the show and like enjoy it?
Exactly.
Okay. Let me think. What else do I want to ask? Well, we already did discuss this, but the Melissa and Teresa drama, keep it or sleep it?
Sleep it.
For sure. I'm on team that. Team that with you. All right. Well, that wraps up our very first episode of Sleep It or Keep It with Ira Madison. I love it.
I've got a question for you.
Oh, good. I can't wait. Go.
So this podcast is called On Display.
Oh, okay.
But you've been, running on display for a bit too long. Where's the new song?
Oh my God. You know how it's so funny. A lot of people have been asking me this lately.
You need to give the people what they want, Melissa.
Really? I know. How fun would that be if I just busted out 8 years later and I'm like, you know what? Let's just pick this back up again one more time. Right? Listen, I think it's so fun. That was such a fun time in my life. I was literally was also a lot younger, but I was doing nightclub appearances. I was singing on stages all the time. You know how housewives get booked? Yeah. You'd always be like, all right, you're going to get booked and we're going to pay you a lot extra if you get on the stage and do On Display. I was like, done. I was doing it everywhere, So funny. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Maybe I'll just, it's one of those things we got to keep out of the thing. And if it comes, boom, you got it fresh in the show. Yeah. So I'm going to keep that one quiet.
Okay.
Honestly, Ira, this has been so much fun. You're so great. I knew it would be awesome talking to you.
Yes, I know. And of course, one of my friends, Matt Rogers, was on your show too. So he was, he said that I was going to have a great time. So
yes, he is my boy. I love him. I love him. I stan him. Okay.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah, we stan Matt Rogers.
Him. Yes, for real. But thank you so much. I loved your recaps. I love everything you said. And I appreciate you always watching. And thank you for coming on. I'm very happy to meet you. If we are at BravoCon, make sure you come up to me. Make sure we meet next time.
I will.
You were there,
I will.
Right?
Yeah,
were you there this year?
I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were hosting. Yes. So make sure we meet. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, be sure to check out his podcast, Keep It, which drops every Wednesday. Ira, thank you so much again.
Of course.
All month long on PlutoTv, stream the biggest Tyler Perry movies free. Watch your favorites like Medea's Witness Protection and Medea's Big Happy Family. Join Tyler Perry as he goes on a couples retreat with Sharon Leal in Why Did I Get Married? Or Idris Elba and Gabrielle Union in the Tyler Perry directed film Daddy's Little Girls. Plus, PlutoTV has hundreds of channels with thousands more movies and TV shows. Available on live and on demand. Download the free PlutoTV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming now. PlutoTV. Drop in, watch free.